a long time coming, but he's only got, looks like maybe 12,000 HP left on his hands. Probably gonna be a long day, though, if we want to, get down with his hands and get his things situated. Oh, actually, you know what? I know what I want to do. Before I start this, I need to... Actually, I have time. I can do it later. I was going to say I was going to look at the True Eye of Cthulhu's attack cycles, but maybe I should do that right before I would kill the hands. Otherwise, I'm just going to, you know, forget it. Hey, Kanon. Okay, so goal for this stream is minimum 150,000, but ideally beyond that. Hey, Peninja. How you doing? Hands are nearly dead? Yeah. I don't think it'll be this stream, but today is the day that I hope to be done with the hands. We can check the exact HP value when we teleport. Let's see. Is 67,500 up there. So all we'd have to do is subtract 67,500 from whatever shows up when he teleports. So he's at... yeah, like 12,000. 12,400. The only problem is, there's like 2,500 damage I need to deal to the left hand, without dealing damage to the right hand, which could be a little slower than normal. So it'll be probably like 10,000 damage at the 1,700 damage per hour pace, and then we probably drop down to like, honestly, probably like half that. Probably like 800 damage, 900 damage an hour, and we have to do that for probably like 3 hours to get the left hand down. I think the hand's closing is going to make this a bit longer than it needs to be. It's certainly inconvenient. But the main issue with the hands isn't so much that they close, it's the fact that they move around. They don't stay in a consistent location. Most of the time that they're in a position I can hit them, I can hit them. Not always, though. Yeah, one thing that's kind of weird to think about is that the Moonlord, in terms of his hitboxes, is one of the smallest bosses in the game. Despite having a massive sprite, he only has, you know, a couple of very small hitboxes, and that's really the only way you can deal damage to him, and those hitboxes are constantly opening and closing. You know, compare the size of the Moonlord's eyes to, like, the eyes of the Wall of Flesh. Each one of his hitboxes is, like, about the size of the Lunatic Cultist, who is a very small boss. So I've been catching the past few streams. You've been talking and playing with friends. Also been in a very good mood. Oh, that's alright. Don't worry about it. Are you feeling better now? Yeah, you are? Nice. Glad to hear it. You got System of a Down's self-titled album yesterday? Nice. Hey, Quoxy. Like, when you say you got the album, did you get, like, a physical copy of it? Did you, like, buy it on some digital service? I'm not really sure how music purchasing goes nowadays. I don't really buy music much. I'm doing alright, Quoxy. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? At the physical CD. Nice. Those of you that are a bit older, you remember just having like the sleeve of CDs in the car to swap in and out to play different music? I remember my dad would have like the sun visor, an attachment on there that just had a bunch of CDs in it. Most of which were probably milked with like a Sharpie with some vague descriptor. Because they were just probably burned CDs using pirated music. Ever had anything like that when you were younger? Mm. Or you'd essentially just have, for music to play. Thanks, Method. You'd basically just have a bunch of CDs with tracks on them in a certain order that you would pop in and out of your car and like jump between tracks. I wasn't driving, nor was I in the front seat when things like this happened. I was just in the back because I was, at that point, the youngest member of my family, and I was not allowed to ride in the front seat. Somebody else always got that. Speaking of that, we used to take really long road trips when I was a kid for vacations. Like So I used to live in New Hampshire, which, if you're not familiar with the U.S., is a state that touches the Canada border in the northeast U.S. It's in New England. Um, so very top of the U.S. And for vacation, um, a lot of the times my family wanted to go to like Florida, Universal Studios, Disney, Orlando, stuff like that. Um, and you know, the normal choice would be to like fly down there. But we never really did that. We would drive. We would drive. I mean, it was like over a 24-hour drive. I think from what I remember, they would take it in like one sitting. They wouldn't stop for the night. They'd just like swap out who's driving. Um, I think there was only one time that I like took a plane on a vacation when I was younger. And that's just because there were fewer people going. Actually, I think it was for a wedding. It was just three of us going to a wedding in the Carolinas. But there were just a ton of really long road trips that I would take as a child. And wasn't really a whole lot to do during them. There was a lot of, like, reading books, looking out the window and seeing how many different license plates you could spot. I Spy, stuff like that. I remember there was one point in time, when I was a bit older, probably like 13 years old, I was taking a trip down to Florida with my family, and my sister at this time was driving down with her then boyfriend alongside us in a different car, and he like had a heart attack in the middle of the night as they were driving because he had like 3 Monster energy drinks, and we had to like pull over and go to the emergency room and spend the night there. He ended up being fine. But not something you want to be doing at like, 2 a.m. or whatever it was. Take breaks when you're driving. Don't slam down a bunch of caffeine or energy drinks to try to keep going. Just get a hotel. Or pull into a rest stop and just sleep in your car. Yeah, I think, like I said, I'd like to release the True Eyes of Cthulhu. I think it will be easier if I release the True Eyes of Cthulhu before fighting the Top Eye than the alternative. Especially because, these eyes might hit me multiple times or position themselves in really awkward ways. I don't know. As long as I line up the cycles fine, I think the True Eyes will be fine. That's the main important thing. Easier said than done, though. And I only get one shot at it. If I mess it up, not much I can do about that. I'll have one shot at it and I won't have any practice. Wait, did I get... Damn, the HP discrepancy grew. It's actually like 3,000 on the left hand now. I guess I have been slightly out DPSing the right hand compared to the left. Oh. 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 I remember when I was younger, I used to I used to be just such a little shit when it came to stealing food. Um like I lived in a house with 5 people, including me. 2 siblings and 2 parents. Um and obviously not everything in the house was for me, especially like when it came to like sweets or candies or snacks or stuff like that. And I would just be such a little shit when it came to stealing them. I remember genuinely, they were like caramel apple wrappers. They're like uh, sheets of caramel that you would buy that you would put on an apple to melt, and then you'd make a caramel apple. And I would just like steal the caramel wrappers and eat them without an apple. Uh, Let's see. What did I say the ideal... I think I estimated I'd deal somewhere between 1 and 2 DPS to the top eye. Which, if that's the case, if we hit that damage range, which is not guaranteed, let's, calculate off 1 DPS. Easier that way. And probably more realistic. 1 DPS is 60 per minute, which is 3,600 per hour, which would be a little under 20 hours for the, Alright. Seems reasonable to me. The only thing I would be concerned about when it comes to popping out the Moonlord's true eyes is that, I'll need to... I cannot just choose when to damage the hands. I have narrow windows in which I can damage the hands. Which, depending on how the True Eyes timing lines up with the Moonlord's timing, could be quite problematic. I may need to pick and choose a very specific moment to try to pop out the eye, and I may have to, mess around with teleporters to make sure I can hit the hand at the exact moment. I'm also going to need to get... When it comes down to it, I'm going to try to get one of these hands to 1 HP. And then get the other hand down. It's not the easiest to get something to 1 HP. It's very easy to accidentally hit twice. Which is why I've been like 1 HP off sometimes when getting the Moonlord's HP back after a crash. Yeah. It's because it's easy to accidentally double hit. Well, the problem is if we double hit when we're trying to get him down to 1 HP, he's gonna just pop out the eye, and then that could mess up our timing. Oh. God. I'm so tired streaming this early in the morning. I'm usually not, like, awake until 11. Oh. It actually looks like I might be on the pace to deal 1,800 damage an hour now. Even better. Oh, let's check something real quick. God damn it. Okay. I will point out, YouTube chat has been broken for me for the past, like, half hour, which is why I haven't been responding to anything anyone's been saying, because I haven't been able to see it. Which I figured might have been the case. I don't know why the fuck it does that sometimes. Yeah, like, there's no indication. It's not like it disconnects from chat. There's no indication. No, I can see that. I can see it now things because I refreshed it. But the last thing I saw before this was Mythod saying, like, congrats on 10K. I just assumed nobody was saying anything. Oh, one sec. About 20? Yes. It's been a long time coming. We're probably on like 50-ish hours of doing this. I don't know. The goal for today is to kill the hands. We're very close. It doesn't happen very frequently, YouTube chat just bugging out, which is why I didn't think of it at first. Did I use a cheese when I beat Moonlord for the very first time? I beat Moonlord for the very first time in like 2015, probably like a week after the update dropped. No, I didn't use a cheese. I found out how to kill lizards in Rain World and you're proud of yourself? Nice. What did you discover? Hey, Goober. How have you been killing them? Hit them in their body, not their head. Yeah. That's the trick. Nice. So, did you make it through Shaded Citadel? Where are you at now? You got to the leg. Nice. You never played Rain World? Oh, you could always change that. You suck at any boss because you're a starter, you have cactus armor. The spiders in Shaded Citadel are a pain in the ass. Yeah, they can be annoying. Thankfully, they're mostly only in Shaded Citadel, so now that you're out of there, you won't have to deal with them too much. Well, you can get better armor and weapons, Goober. What difficulty are you playing on? Hard? Like expert mode? Master mode? You beat Gabriel in 3-2 without cheats today. I don't know what that means. The ultra kill? Okay. I don't remember Gabriel in 3-2. I played ultra kill like once. I'm probably gonna go back to play it once it's finished. Whenever Act 3 and all the levels get added. But until then, I probably won't play it. Normal? Okay, so classic difficulty. Can't play anymore because your Switch is broken. Ah, okay. Well, when you can play, I would suggest going underground and mining and trying to get better armor. Silver, tungsten, gold, platinum, any of those. If you get the full armor set, head, chest, and legs of the same type of armor, you'll get a defense bonus. And on Classic, that should be enough to help you fight bosses, along with getting more max HP from life crystals underground. Most of what you're going to want to do is go underground and get materials. You know, if you're trying to fight bosses with cactus armor and 100 HP, no, I didn't see. What? I know you said your Switch is broken. I said when you can play, operating on the assumption that you would fix your Switch or, like, transfer the save file or something. Thanks using enough for pre-hard mode, but you're going to want to make sure you have better armor for early hard mode. Yeah, they might not have tungsten in the world, depending on how things work out. And it's classic, so, like, it really doesn't matter that much. As long as you get, you know, a decent armor set, a decent weapon, you'll be fine. Yeah, I get that your Switch is broken now, but I'm assuming that your Switch is not going to stay broken forever, or that there's another point in time where you'll play Terraria again. Am I excited for the new Terraria update? Honestly, no, not particularly. Nor do I want any information regarding it whatsoever. Like, it's cool, but I can't say that I'm, like, super excited for it. I think it's better to go into it without expectations. If the update ends up being underwhelming, I'm not going to be disappointed by it. If it ends up being very good, it'll be a nice surprise. You're a little bit... Just because you think it'd be cool if there's a new boss, you know anything about it, though, so you don't know anything about the upcoming features. I don't want to talk about or speculate or have any discussions whatsoever about the upcoming update. Let me be perfectly clear about that. You're trying to do that, but it's hell expensive because for new controllers, it's $90? Damn, can you get, like, used controllers? That's obscene. I didn't realize the controllers were that expensive. That's it, Quoxy. You're on the Discord, had a bit of trouble because my Discord is wonky and formatted weirdly. That's alright. And yeah, you get image permissions after being in the server for a week. You just have to wait a bit to be able to send images. You have cereal? Nice, what kind of cereal? I don't really eat cereal very much. Cereal is super overpriced and is basically just a sugary snack. It's mostly the overpriced thing. Cereal is obscenely expensive. At least name brand cereal is. Pops? Yeah, I remember Pops. Cereal is good, but you prefer a drink? How are the two comparable? The good ones are not healthy, and the healthy ones taste like shit. Yeah. I don't see how, like, a drink is the alternative to cereal. One's a food, the other's a beverage. I don't really eat breakfast. Breakfast is not economical, and it's not very important to eat. The whole breakfast is the most important meal of the day thing, that's just a lie. That's a marketing campaign. That was just very effective. And your breakfast is most certainly not the most important meal of the day, considering that most breakfast foods are just really sugary and unhealthy. Yeah, Traveling Merchant's been here a bit. The chat log isn't quite filled up with all the Traveling Merchants because we had to, the game crashed a couple days ago after I'd lost power. I think it was during that thunderstorm where actually, no, I think it was the day after that. Somebody had crashed into a electric pole and I lost power for a couple hours. And as a result, the game did not properly start back up when I reopened my PC, and I had to get him back to the HP value he was at, which is why the chat log isn't quite as long as it should be. Time and a place, Goober. Time and a place. Neither of those are here. And now. Like when the power's out, less light pollution, and you can see more stars. I don't really live in an area that has that much light pollution to begin with, so I'm not too concerned about that. You have a couple of eggs for breakfast. The other reason I don't eat breakfast, like I said, is just because it's expensive to eat breakfast. Like, I can just choose not to eat food, and therefore I don't spend money eating food. And I can just eat a larger meal later. It's cheaper to eat one large meal throughout the day, rather than 3 small meals throughout the day. Like the stars, you want to be an aerospace engineer so you can send something to space. Engineering is largely mathematics and scientific knowledge, yeah. If you're not good with math, you would not be a very good aerospace engineer. You're good at math and you like math, you don't like learning useless equations that have no importance in the future, and math teachers do things kids should teach themselves. You probably will not like math in college then. From what I remember from math in college, it was, pretty much entirely you teaching yourself. Because most college classes are, self-studying with supporting lecture, at least from what I remember. What's an example of a useless equation that has no importance in the future? I'm not really sure what that's in reference to. High school teachers are paid to completely teach, not say to sit around and do it yourself. Doing things yourself is a really effective way to learn, though. Like, you can't expect them to hold your hand the entire time. If anything, I would argue a class like that is good because it's getting you ready for college where your teacher isn't going to teach you shit. You're going to have a couple example problems in class, and then you're largely going to be learning through homework and textbook yourself in your dorm. And getting you ready and equipped to do that is important. Genuinely, from what I remember from my Calc 1 and 2 lectures in college, like, the professor would solve maybe 1 or 2 problems on the board, over the course of like a 50-minute lecture. You shouldn't know anything though, I mean anything, not even explain the equation or what the math's name was. I mean... I feel like the teachers are supposed to teach the fundamentals how to do it, then send you yourself on their way. Then send you on your way. I mean, the problem is, a large part of the problem here is that getting frustrated at the teachers is not helpful because a lot of the times the teachers are severely underpaid. Severely underpaid. And oftentimes, as a result, finding people to staff the positions are not people that are going to be ideal at teaching you these things. I don't think getting upset at the teacher is not the right thing to do there, because they are just people. Main reason you're irritated with that teacher is because he's a homophobic bigot that picked on your friend. That's different. That's a good reason to be mad at them. But, in general, I try not to get upset at teachers for things that are, probably a product of somebody who doesn't entirely want to be doing what they're doing, but it's just a severely underpaid and underappreciated job. Especially because I heard the same thing so many times throughout high school, and I'm sorry, the answer is just that you guys suck at math. Okay? Like, sure, the teacher's not that great at teaching you, but you also just suck at math. I'm not necessarily speaking to you specifically, but the answer 90% of the time that I heard that in high school was just that the person was bad at math and was trying to blame it on their teacher. When even if the teacher put in a ton of effort, they still probably would be in the same result. Your GPA says otherwise. It's very easy to get good grades in high school. And again, I didn't say I was speaking to you specifically. I was speaking to the formless entity that's an amalgamation of people in high school that I knew. I think in Math 3 in high school, I got a perfect score on every assignment throughout the entire semester. I think I ended that class with like 105%. Can't wait to have that said to you when you get in high school this year that she sucked at a subject. Just tried to pull the same thing. She would blame her teacher for a bad grade in math. Yeah. Or people use it as an excuse for not wanting to try. Where the teacher is not, overtly holding their hand and pulling them through everything, and they have to try to do something on their own, and they're not used to that, and then they get mad at the teacher for not helping them. And obviously, that's not going to apply to every single situation, but the situations that I've seen tended to be things like that. Started early? Yeah, a little after 9 a.m. this morning. We're gonna have to focus down that left hand soon. I'd see things. Yeah, when I had started out in high school, I know I had certainly gotten frustrated with a lot of teachers who really disliked them, but in my senior year, when I really got to know and talk to them a lot, I came to respect them a lot more, and find it difficult to be upset at them for small personal failings. Because at the end of the day, they are just people in an underappreciated job who are probably struggling quite a lot, and have to deal with incredibly stressful things with students on a day-to-day basis. And obviously, you're going to get some teachers that are just assholes and bigots and whatnot. That's different. Um, Okay, so let's think about this. When the time actually comes to damage the top eye, I'm gonna... The problem is, I can't sit there and eat hits from the death ray, which is gonna limit my ability to... Okay, I think I know what I want to do. I think I'm gonna add a third switch here. Keep these two as they are, because they're my means of dodging the tongue and dodging the death ray. And then add a third one, probably in the top right-hand corner, that I can flip between. That'll send me straight up where the top eye is. I can alternate that very quickly to teleport back and forth, like with Retinazer. Try to keep him locked in the same position, and then as soon as the death ray comes, come back down, teleport to the side, walk away, then come back and teleport to dodge the tongue. And I think that'll work. What armor set am I using? I'm using the Hollowed Mask, the Valhalla Knight's Breastplate, Valhalla Knight Greaves. And then for accessories, I have the Brain of Confusion, the Shiny Stone, the Hero Shield, I believe Berserker's Glove, and Cross Necklace, all reforged to Warding. And this is on Expert difficulty. I'm an accessory slot down because I couldn't kill the Wall of Flesh on Expert, but we deal with it. Is it safe to assume HP regen is the priority here? It's very important. Its defense and HP regen combined are very important. Given that we're essentially just face tanking damage, the two things we need to make sure happen is we need to make sure that the damage we take is not very high, and the damage that we take gets regenerated very quickly. We essentially need to achieve a state in which we can survive indefinitely. And we have. At least for this phase. Not easy to deal damage to that left hand. The damage has also been slipping in favor of this right hand. I don't know what's changed. It's been like over the course of this stream that the damage has been focused on that right hand. Maybe this stream and the last one. Because before it had been a pretty consistent like 2,500 difference. Now it's up to like a 3,200 difference. Oh, oh. My gecko was acting really weird last night. Um, there's this pile of cork bark and some other things in the corner of her tank on the floor. And for like 4 or 5 hours, she was crawling around inside of it. Appealing your ban in the last post wins. I assume is what that means. What? I'm confused. I don't know what that means. Yeah, she was just hiding back there for a couple hours. I noticed she was shedding, but I've never seen her climbing back there before. I was wondering if she was potentially preparing a spot to like lay an egg, because it did seem to be a very secure cave-ish location. That's all I could think of. She has been looking a little bit bigger. That or she was just being weird and wanted a particular spot to shed in. But I've never seen her crawling back there before. It took me a solid like 5 minutes of looking around her tank just to find her. What difficulty is this? This is expert mode. More specifically, it is journey mode set to expert mode. But for all intents and purposes, this is expert mode. Yeah, I'm excited to revitalize my my gecko's tank. Once all these plants finish quarantine. All right, 2,300 damage so far. It's gonna be awkward once we get this right hand down to almost being dead. Because at that point we need to just deal damage to the left hand, which is going to be at about half the normal rate. So I think time-wise, it'd be like there's another 3,000 HP on the on either hand. Which would mean it'd probably take about 6 hours. So, long day of streaming. I don't know how to focus damage on that left hand more than I'm already doing. Trying to. Because maybe I can speed things up if I just focus that left hand and instantly deal damage to the right while doing it. Oops. 693. We'll see. We'll see. But like all of my left hand damage is incidental anyway. Like this whole thing's set up to fight the right hand. It just happens to line up very well with the left hand because of how they move symmetrically. I mean, I could try to pivot to that left teleporter. But I don't even know if that'd really be much faster. I'd probably spend more time rewiring it than the time I save. But all that would do is make it so I deal damage to the left hand at the same way that I'm dealing damage to the right hand right now. But like my rate of damage difference isn't even that high. What I could do is try to tone around in situations like that. That might help. Like here. Ah, but it's so difficult to turn around with the lawnmower. Oh well, I think we're just gonna have to be in for the slow ride here. Oh, oh. Tired. I don't know why, because I slept plenty last night. going in to try to hit his left hand a second time there, and it never works. My eyes have just been watering non-stop. I had sea scoopies. Thank you. Have fun with whatever it is you're doing. Oh, oh. Oops. Need to press that one. Oh, oh. Hmm. I'm tired. As long as it take me to reach 5,000. Like another hour and a half. I think I'll probably do a 3-stream day today. I gotta go like take a nap. I wanted to check something about the shiny stone. Mechanic about how it works. Thank you, Love Song, for a dead girl. I'm really tired. I might only go for 2 hours this stream, then go take a nap, and then plan to come back in the afternoon and night to fight him more. So I really want to go to bed. I don't know what it is. I've been yawning non-stop for like the past half hour. I'm gonna at least get to the 2 hour mark. Alright, only about 10,000 more to go. Which time-wise is really going to be about 13,000. Because we're going to have to deal 3,000 to the left hand. It's not evenly divided. I don't know if I'm going to be able to kill the hands today. It might have to be tomorrow. Because even if I were to do another 6 hours that still wouldn't get through it. And I don't know if I'm going to stream for 10 hours today. That's quite a lot. Only I'd been doing the correct pace the entire fight. Then we wouldn't have this 3,000 HP discrepancy to deal with. Alright. About 15 more minutes for this stream, then I'm gonna go take a nap. Okay. So it looks like the shiny stone doesn't care if I'm holding down the movement key as long as I'm stationary, but it does care if I'm using the lawnmower. Using the lawnmower will decrease my HP regeneration rate. Holding down the movement key will not. Which means I should avoid holding down the lawnmower button when I'm not actively attacking, as that'll increase my HP regeneration. But I don't have to worry about holding down the movement key. Bit tough to keep track of, though. Nice, still pushing for the hands. How much stream do you think the hands will take? I want to get done with the hands today, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. They've got a lot of HP left. Somewhere between 2 to 3 more streams for the hands. I plan to stream 2 more times today. I would like to kill the hands by the end of today, but if we don't get it done today, it'll definitely get done tomorrow. This stream's not going to go on for too much longer, though, because I am very tired. And as soon as I hit the 2-hour mark, I'm just going to take a break. Take a nap. You don't get how I can semi-concentrate on one thing for this long? I don't know. I'm good at focusing. Yeah, I could definitely kill the right hand by the end of today. It's just the left hand lingering with its extra 3,000 hit points. That's the one that's going to be a pain. And it's going to make it take longer and probably not get done till tomorrow. My mental state is gone. You can choose to believe that. I've been doing this for 20 streams. Yeah. Yeah, I have. Yeah, the music does help. Only Moonlord? Yes. this one singular Moonlord attempt, which I've dealt a bit over 60,000 damage, has been 20 streams. Technically 21, but one of the streams is only half an hour, so I didn't really count it. How long in hours? Probably somewhere in the ballpark of like 50 hours. I don't know, though. I haven't been keeping count. I'm going to take a nap soon, though, so this stream's only going to be going on for another 8 minutes or so before I take a break. $47 hours and a bit. Yeah, the stream length hasn't been entirely consistent. You know, maybe it won't take 100 hours to kill the Moonlord. If it's only been about 50 hours and we're almost done with the hands. I was expecting it to take more in the ballpark of like 70 or 80 hours for the hands, but then we upped our DPS by optimizing our strategy. Alright, thank you, Mine. I think it's pretty likely that I will finish the hands tomorrow morning and not today, unless I have a lot of luck with dealing damage to the left hand and energy later. It'll probably have to be tomorrow that I finish them, unfortunately. Alright, see ya. I'll be here for another 5 minutes or so. The right hand has broken 3,000 HP though. Down to 2932. You thought you'd seen it all? Hey, Alex. It's getting kind of hot in my room. Yeah. 3,500 damage in 2 hours, though. I keep gradually getting better at this pace, huh? Yeah, the first year was 1,000, then we up to like 1,400, 1,500, 1,600. Now we're at like 1,750 in an hour. Potentially even 1,800 on a good hour. Had I not been messing around trying to attack the left hand, we probably would have done 1,800. And been at 3,600 at the end of the 2 hour mark. Okay. 2 minutes, 15 seconds. And we'll stop for the day. Or sorry, for the stream. And then pick up later in the day. Let's get down to 151,500. That's the number. That'll be a cutoff point. We're at 15, 15, 15 right now. Alright, last cycle. Okay, once this tongue comes out, I'll pause and stop. Alright, let's see, what are we at? 2862 and 151498. 2862, 6136. Combined, about 9,000 HP. When you consider the extra 3,000 damage there, that'll probably be dealt about half pace. You're probably gonna have to get through, time-wise, what it would take for me to get through about 12,000 HP, which is probably going to be about 7 to 8 more hours of hands. So that's a problem for later today and tomorrow.